Okay, today we're going to continue with triangles and a few things we need to know. When solving for missing angles, we want to try to find special angle pairs that you already know. We know supplementary angles are on a straight line. They add up to 180 degrees. We know a right angle symbol, and that shows us that a right angle is equal to 90 degrees. Vertical angles are always equal to each other. All angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. Sometimes you'll have to solve for several things before we can actually get the angle measure we want. So let's try this out. Right here, I want to solve for angle A. And we know that this triangle right here has to equal 180 degrees. However, we don't know what this angle right here is. A relationship that we see is that this angle is vertical to 132 degrees. And so that means they're equal. So this angle equals 132 degrees. Now we have all three angles for our triangle. So we can solve for x, and that will then let us solve for angle A. So to do this, we take 2x plus 2 plus 2x plus 6 plus 132 degrees. And we set this equal to 180 degrees. Put my little degree symbols here. Okay, well now we're going to combine like terms. I have a positive 2x and a positive 2x. So I get 4x, and I have a positive 2, a positive 6, and a positive 132. So 2 plus 6 is 8, and 8 plus 132 is 140 degrees, and again this is equal to 180. We now solve this like a two-step equation. Subtract 140 degrees from both sides, and we have 4x is equal to 40 degrees. And we divide by 4 to isolate the variables, so we get x is equal to 10 degrees. Okay, so we fill in a 10 right here, 10 degrees. Now to solve for angle A, we have to substitute in for x. So 2 times 10, and then we add 6. Well, 2 times 10 is 20 degrees plus 6 degrees. Angle A is going to equal 26 degrees. Okay, let's keep going. So right here in this example, in the diagram below it says SPT is a right angle. We know a right angle is 90 degrees, so I can go ahead and put my right angle symbol there. And it tells us angle QPV, this angle, is 115 degrees. Now we have to figure out the measures of all the other angles and give a reason for each. All right, so let's look at angle QPR. All right, what do we know about QPR? We don't know a lot yet. All right, and so then we have RPS. We're going to figure out RPS to be able to know QPR. Okay, and then let's see, TPV. We're going to start with TPV. So we see that TPV is supplementary with QPV. And so if these are supplementary, they're on a straight line, they have to add up to 180 degrees. So to find TPV, I do 180 minus 115, and that is going to give me 65 degrees. So this is 65 degrees. And why? Because it's supplementary with QPV. So that's our justification. Make sure I include my angle sign. All right, now we have some information that we can use. All right, TPV is vertical with QPR. Does everybody see how they're sharing a vertex here and across from each other? So that means QPR is also going to be 65 degrees. So we can come over here and fill that in. 65 degrees, and why? Because it is vertical, as a vertical relationship with angle TPV. And now lastly, we can solve RPS, as we know that if SPT is 90 degrees, then this whole angle right here also has to be 90. So QPR and RPS have to equal 90 degrees. So 65 plus some number, should be a question mark, is equal to 90. We can solve this by subtracting 65 degrees from 90. And we see that RPS is equal to 25 degrees because it has to be complementary with QPR. So this is 25 degrees, and our explanation is because it is a complementary relationship with angle QPR. We have one last type of problem we're going to solve, and it's a word problem. And I want to walk through how we would go about thinking about this problem. So it says one of two complementary angles, key word is complementary, has a measure that is 4 times bigger than that of the other. What equation could you use to find x, the degree measure of the smaller angle? Okay, well we know if we were to draw this out, okay, let's pretend that's a straight line. So here's my 90-degree angle. I'll make it a little bit straighter, okay? So here's my 90-degree angle. Okay, well we have a line, we have 2 angles here. And we said that this angle is 4 times larger than this angle. Well, we don't exactly know the measure, so we can use x, the degree measure of the smaller angle. Well, if x degrees, if x represents the smaller angle, then 4x degrees is going to represent the larger angle because the larger angle is 4 times larger. So 4x is the same thing as saying 4 times x. Now we know complementary angles equal 90 degrees. So what we can do is set our angles 4x plus x equal to 90 degrees. We add these together because we're combining like terms. So we get 5x is equal to 90 degrees. And then we can solve for x by dividing by 5 on both sides. 5 divided by 5 is 1, leaving x isolated. 5 can go into 9 one time with 4 left over. And 5 can go into 40 8 times. So this lets us see that our small angle is equal to 18 degrees because x was representing the size of the smaller angle.